was a small family business. Me, my son, and my daughter. And, you know, you're up once they wake you up at 2 o'clock. You know, you're up the rest of the night trying to find a nurse. Listen, I need a nurse for 7 o'clock in the morning. My nurse called out. So you're up the rest of, and can you imagine me calling you at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning saying, listen, can you go to work? You know, and so you just get tired of that. And like I said, the opportunity, and then I was talking to one of the guys who was the head. He and I came up through the ranks. He was in CCU, I was in ICU, but we knew each other. We came through, you know, orientation and stuff together, so we kept in touch. And I was over there talking because we were going to do a project together. He called me and wanted me to essentially create a CNA school for prisoners. And he and I were talking, and so he started asking me about my numbers and what, and I said, well, you know, and I'm thinking I'm doing pretty good. I said, well, I get a bill rate about $90 an hour. I pay my nurse $60, and so, you know, taking home $30 an hour off every nurse, that you know, that's not bad,
right?
You know, and he looked at me and he said, Preston, the companies that we deal with, they pay their nurses $90 an hour.
Wow.
We pay them $200 an hour. And so I just kind of saw the handwriting on the wall. There's no way you could compete with that.
Right.
So when I was approached, I was out. And so, and like I said, I just really did not. It is very difficult in this company, in this country, when you have your own small business, to set up an adequate retirement for yourself. You know what I'm saying? It is very difficult. And they do that on purpose, you know? And so even though you might make a lot of money, you know, while you have your own business, if you don't have something like residual income, it is very difficult to get to a point where you can say, I'm retired and I got enough money coming in to support my lifestyle.
Awesome.
And so, once again, call Dale. Knock, knock, knock. I'm back.
All right, awesome.
How am I supposed to follow that?
Don't worry, I'm going to guide you. But I want you to hear that this man, everyone here, and gets that, but he's very successful in what he did. But like you said, you can't compete with those bigger companies. But taking that mindset over here, he got enough sense to say, wait a minute now, I've done all of this all these years. Let me go over here where I can have a good life and a retirement that comes. Now, Jim, you said 34 years in the industry?
Yes, I'll be 35 this year.
35 years this year, and you've been here how long?
Since December the 20th.
Okay. What is the biggest difference? So you were already, what was your best year in income those 34 years?
A little over 300.
300,000. 300,000 at the other insurance companies. Okay. Well, I mean, come on now. You're making way more money than everybody else.
I want to let everybody know, when people call you and let you know they can pay you a higher contract, don't listen. Because it's good now, but you're not going to have anything at the end.
Okay.
Period. So I took a lower contract, but I'm making more money.
There you go.
Right here today because of the residual income. 3 months, my residual income is $1,700 a month.
Okay, so let's break that down. So you've been here 3 months?
Yeah.
And you're getting $1,700 a month. All right. And how much residual over the 34 years? And you were making 300. Your best year was 300,000.
None.
Okay. Now some of us knew that, but a lot of us weren't here when he gave this story. So we have these other insurance companies. Remember I said there's over 2,600 insurance companies in the U.S. And you worked for about how many of them? How many
I
at
have
one
my
time?
own agency. I worked
You were licensed
15,
contracted
20.
with 15?
15, 20 different companies,
Okay.
making 125, 140% contract.
Ooh.
You know what it did? It made me lazy. Because I can go make 1 or 2 sales and that's it. But I'm telling you, if you don't stay on a routine and do it every day, day in, day out, it's not gonna happen. But I wanted to share also with the new people, When I first started in this business, I was scared. I was sitting there just like you, not here, but somewhere else, and did not really think this was for me. But I said I'd give it a try. I wasn't 19. So what got me started in it, I used to go around and collect insurance. I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
I am 25, but I did that. I had a young lady I always stopped. I never, ever, the first year and a half, approached anybody about insurance. I was scared. I was scared of what to say. I didn't know what to do. But this one lady, 32 years old, one Friday said, Jamie, I want you to come to the house on Monday. We just dropped Prime America. She had 4 kids, 32 years old. Monday morning, she died in a massive heart attack. And I had to look myself in the mirror and say, either I need to get in this business or get out of it. Because I'm hurting families. And when you sit there and don't ask people, I mean, like somebody said, everywhere I go, I pass my card. Here, maybe I can help you, know somebody else. Get out of your way.
That's right.
Don't be scared if they say no. You're gonna get a lot more no's than you get yeses. Just keep doing it on a daily basis.
Okay, awesome. All right, so 1,700. Preston, I know you're just getting going. Ms. Val said 1,100. How much did you say your in your residual is?
12,000 a year.
12,000 a year, so about $1,000 a month that he does not have to work for. Chris,
About 72,000.
72,000 a year. All right, so people who need a calculator like me, I think that's about 6,000 a month, right? That he doesn't have to work for. And what I wanted you to see is all of these people are coming from different backgrounds, either former business owners in the insurance industry, employees, have a pension, they don't over here, they don't have to do that. And Preston, I'm not counting your dollars, but I'm just thinking if I sold a multi-million-dollar business, I'm getting a good amount on that. So I don't know what his nest egg is, but
The thing about it is when you sell a business, and Dell will tell you a lot of times when you start, and it can get complicated when you start talking about what they call your EBTA and all like that. A lot of times your business is not really worth what you think it is. And especially when you have companies, you literally have billion-dollar staffing agencies out there. And that's why I could not compete. And so when they start looking at those companies compared to yours, you're not really gonna get a whole lot of money when they start with all the calculations and stuff and they figure out what your business is. A lot of people think when you sell a business, you get millions of dollars, and you really don't in most cases, you know. And so, and then a lot of times people don't realize that, I think the rule of thumb, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dale, the rule of thumb is for every, whether it's McDonald's or whatever business, the rule of thumb is for every $1 million that you make in a business, you take home about 250,000
After taxes.
Yeah, you know, and then you have to pay, and in the staffing business, 60% of everything that you make goes to the employees because they're doing the work. Now, that residual from that, so to speak, is you can have a good life off of that, but you don't get paid off what they did last week. Only if they show up to work this week, you know. So a lot of times it sounds like a lot of money, but really it's not. And then when you add in the mix COVID, you know, and your bills are still going on, your life is still going on, that money evaporates very quickly.
okay, thank you. And that is key because remember he told you how many years he put into this, all right? This money that we're talking about with the residual income, that pay through, this is at the first of the month, whether we go out or not, this money is there, all right? And we are talking about getting paid on that. Jamie, you said something key. You making all that money made you lazy, all right? Agents, if we honest, how many of us can say that? Okay, I'm the only one gonna be honest. Let me tell you, it can.
It can.
It can. But if we work as hard for ourselves, I know we're talking about them 60 hours, right? I know you working those hours at Verizon Wireless. I remember, all right? And don't ever get on salary over there, because then they're working you as much as they can and not paying you. So you don't get paid what you're worth, you get paid what the job is worth in person. That's what we're talking about with this. He didn't get paid for all the sweat, equity, tears, time away from his family. He didn't get paid all that. He got paid what the industry said it was worth.
And the key thing is you get paid daily. I mean, you order leads, they don't take all the money from you at one time. You're gonna get money every day. So if you got something to do or you wanna take a vacation, you get paid every day. That's huge. You don't get that anywhere else.
Okay.
And you're right, Crystal, when you think about the blood, sweat, and tears and how much you have to put in it. When I was an actual nurse working in the ICU, because I was at high demand, I hear everybody talking about how much they work a week. 80 hours a week, because when I finished nursing school, I was so broke I owed myself $30. You know, so when I worked and I had to dig myself out of that deficit, 80 hours a week was a light week for me.
Wow.
I would work 130, 140 hours a week. I went one time 76 days without a day off. And probably 50% of those days were double shifts.
Y'all know stress kills?
Oh, I wasn't fit to live with. I wasn't fit to live with, but that's kind of my story.
So what I want everyone to see here is multiple things. Everybody's doing their own thing, but where we end up, okay? In the end, after having great success, they're here for a reason. And so those of us, and you know, everybody's nice and young here, but for those of us who are younger and those even younger, we get to,
Man, start now.
yes, say it again.
Start now.
We get to start now, all right?
20 years ago, quick.
Or just say a pension. I mean, you know, people get, you know, say I work for a pension. You know, it's just like your self-worth. You figure you make $100,000 a year, and you think you're gonna walk out the door with $100,000 a year?
No.
They won't pay you only 60% of what you really work. So you're gonna get 25 years, or 30 years, or 40 years, and you ain't gonna get what you really work for. Now you're looking for something else.
Yep.
After all that time.
10-year plan.
So you know, if you really look at it, at the end of the day, you look at it, I mean, this opportunity, I'm telling you.
All right.
And I don't know any companies now, I mean, during the time I was working, we had 401, we have all that, we had all those benefits. I don't know if they still do that now.
401, but not pensions. And see that 401 thing, 401k,
You gotta pay into it.
you gotta pay into it.
That's right.
So it is
And you
a
gonna pay
huge,
taxes.
and you don't pay taxes, but it is a huge, it was designed to make companies, all right, get companies off the hook. Because a pension is where the company is paying you out of their pocket from what you did for them already. 401k, you're paying yourself, all right? And depending on the company, they may match some things, but you can't get it when you want to, all right? And most people do not have enough in their 401k to retire from. Because most people going right back into it every time they have an emergency.
Our beautiful melanated friends, the average income at 401k is $19,000.
Wow. Y'all heard that? So the average for 19,000 in a 401k is the average. All right?
And for my other folks, it's $137,000.
All right, so we're gonna just get real. The black community, 19,000. In the white community, what'd you say?
137.
137, okay? And there's so many reasons why that is. We don't have time to go into all that. Part of it is thought process, and part of it is where you started, all right? And not knowing how to manage that, all right? So with that being said, I want you to give everybody a round of applause here. Okay. And then